Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Oh, what about Kathy? I've been trying to get a hold of Kathy. She tried to call me, but I was on the other.
I don't have her landline.
I got a landline. You call her?
Yeah, try to give her a call. Please.
Tito's on the line. Do we want to bump her up before your report so she doesn't have to sit on the phone? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the poll committee's out there too, waiting.
Are they?
Okay.
Followed by pound. If you make a...
I don't know what that's going on.
I know she has that, I don't know what, her phone is like.
Oh, it does that to everyone then? Okay.
I think so. I'll try to call her too.
Guess usually it works. Oh, there we go. Kathy, it's Al. Hey, I'm gonna put you on speaker then, huh? Okay. Okay, I'll put you on speaker. All right, she's on.
All right, guys, we'll call the meeting to order. It is 9:16. Al, you want to do roll call, please?
Yep, District 1. Here. District 2.
Here.
District 3.
Yep.
And I'm here, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, we have a quorum, which, next up is review and approval of the agenda.
We just need signatures on
The
this.
only, one other thing
Stay
was,
on, yeah, we
try
just
to
need
do
to
some
sign that.
personnel.
You're not
Yeah.
Type it also,
Casino and
when do we want?
RTC.
Okay. Kathy, can you repeat yours?
Both personnel, both for the casino and RTC.
Oh, both?
And if I can, I'd like to add on their, travel for our firefighters, when we're gonna open that back up.
Oh,
Is that the
yeah.
BAA one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are wanting to get out because they do make good money on that, and, I've been getting quite a few calls on that, and they wanna know when we're gonna open up our travel for them.
From the money.
They reimburse.
Yeah, it's not an issue. Hasn't been in the past. Even it would be.
I guess one of the one things that I wanted to talk about was the contract.
Contract?
Yeah, contracts with, some of our contractors.
You want that
I want to
in
talk about that
executive
too.
session?
I think you're public, but I'm just saying that, it's like, we're sitting here watching our spending on our general fund. I think a lot of these contracts come out of our general fund, so I just want to, just talk about it, I guess, discuss it, and it's something that needs to be addressed, so I guess, we go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with additions.
Ray, Kathy, everybody good to go?
Yep.
All right. Motion by Ums, second.
Second.
Second by Ray, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Good. Approval of the meeting minutes on 5/29/20.
Did you send the calling number to the new CEO over at IHS? Maria. Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hello? Hey, still there? Awful quiet.
I'm going over the meeting minutes.
Was it ICBG Grand Scott? They said there was like 200 applicants for that.
And they haven't heard back, and they talked about wanting to get results back so quick. It's been,
I think they had like $200 million in there, so I think it was.
well, 200 grants and $1 million each is 200 million. We asked for 1.5. I think 1.5 was the max, wasn't it?
Yeah, hopefully we do hear something back for the homeless program. You guys get any calls on the land stuff? Like your recreation sites or anything? Remember that they were supposed to, Catherine was supposed to come back with some type of other, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 5/29/20.
Second.
Yeah, well, I think Kathy said she wanted to go up there. Yeah, I'm gonna go up there. I'm not sure about how. Are you gonna go to Boise Park? He's gonna probably go on Zoom, so. Yeah, I'm not sure what the rest of the council, so. Okay. Okay. I'm in a meeting here, so. Look at it.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Okay, motion by Amity to approve the meeting minutes for 5/20/29/20. Do a second?
Yeah, I second that, Philip.
Second by Raymond, all in favor?
All right.
Motion carries. In the reports.
Tito on there, one.
Yep. You wanna
Oh, we
speak
do,
on the
okay, well, that's
building?
fine, yeah, we can do it again if we have to. So.
Go ahead, Tito, you got the floor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good to know that all 5 of you are there, and I wish and pray that soon we can meet in person, because it seems like it's better then to be able to talk to one another. Our elders are still practicing social distancing as much as we can, and we miss being able to hug our families or hug others that come to visit us. And it's a crazy world right now. But we want to thank the Elder Nutrition Program, especially for all that they've been doing for us. They've been volunteering after their work time, regular work routines, to come out and do minor repairs for elders, and it has made such a difference for so many. And from what I hear from them, they're very, very thankful. And I did write a letter to Mr. Fairbanks asking that perhaps a special fund be set aside so that when the nutrition program needs supplies, that they don't have to go out through various programs. Like usually everything you ask for, you have to make an application to this or that. But if there could be like to buy paint or just some simple little supplies to help people. And I did put that in a letter. Would you like me to read it?
We've already,
That's the letter we got, I presented.
yeah, we've already.
Does
acted on-
everybody have a copy?
Yeah, we have it here, Tito. I presented it to the council here a week or so ago.
Yep, and they're working on a process right now, Tito, so
Okay.
that is being addressed.
That is one of them. And then for those monthly boxes or whatever they are that are sent out to families, could they include things like toilet paper again and dish soaps and paper towels, those kinds of things, everyday needs that families use, rather than snacks?
I think that's being addressed too, isn't it? I presented that stuff too last, along with the other letter.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, we're getting more than enough snacks that we in our lunches, and a lot of the elders aren't really eating those.
Is that the Eagle Sea box?
We're wondering when the centers will be opening up, the nutrition centers. We can still practice social distancing there. You know, we can work with centers to make that available, but that's an important aspect, and it also would cut down on the home deliveries that are being made. So we're kind of wondering when you're going to open the nutrition center. I'll just go on then, maybe after we can, if you have questions from me. I understand, I was listening to the radio, and there was a $424,000 grant that was given to the Waban Fire Department. Scott Grimm was on air, and this money came from Enbridge. It's our feeling that it's a sneaky way of getting through the reservation. So I just want to bring that to your attention. We do listen to many of these things, and that's why it's important for us to meet with you folks so that we can provide our concerns. The other thing is the powwow for August that is being planned. Most of the elders that I talk to don't feel it's safe yet to be having powwows. I think they canceled everywhere else. And it's pretty scary yet. I don't think that we've reached our peak yet with this epidemic. And it's very scary. Elders still are going out and wearing masks, and when we come home, we just feel kind of scared, fearful, because there's so many people out that aren't wearing masks and practicing that 6-foot safety measure. We try our best to stay alive. That's what we're trying to do. And we hope that you hear that message that we don't want to put ourselves at risk more than we are. We understand there's people in our communities now, and even in our clinic, that have been affected with COVID. You know, that's scary for us because, again, we're all related, and when one person on our reservation gets an illness, it flows out because we all connect in one way or the other. So you need to keep that in mind. I didn't agree, and many of the elders didn't agree with opening the shooting star yet. But it's done. I hope that it's safe. I have not been up there. I don't care to go up there. That had been one of my enjoyments. Elders have few enjoyments, and that was one of their enjoyments, was to go up there. But I don't feel safe. I don't even feel safe in going into our churches. We talked to some people that walked out of churches because nobody was practicing safety. Not one person had masks on. You know, what's happening with people? They just think it's all done, and you know that's a lot of our concern. Another concern is that the contract. Is there still a contract for the nutrition program where we're paying that? And this was brought up at the forum, where we're paying a contract to provide consult to the elder nutrition program. That would be a lot of money. $59 an hour is a lot of money. Is that contract still going? These are some of the questions I've been asked to relay. I'm getting calls a lot from people yet on the reservation because they don't know the number, or maybe they've put their paper aside and forgot that you have to call one number to try to get some assistance. But I'm happy to do that as much as I can to help people. So those are some of my concerns that are brought to us.
Miigwech, Tito, miigwech.
Do you have any questions of me? And
What's your position, Tito, what's your position on the powwow? You had mentioned the powwow of possibly.
our position is that we oppose opening the powwow at this time because we can't feel safe as it is.
So the elders don't.
You know, I look forward to opening agencies and our people getting back to work. We have a big concern about Indian preference, that many of our Indian people aren't being called back, but non-Indians are. That was a question that was asked of me to bring to you. And as far as the powwow is concerned, most of the elders that I've talked to said no. They oppose it.
So you'd rather see us postpone it?
Yes.
Not necessarily cancel it, but postpone?
We can feel safe enough. You know, maybe in the fall sometime. I don't know, but right now we just are scared. We're really scared. You know, it's hard sitting at home, but I guess we'd rather be at home and safe than be exposed to to an illness.
I think most of the community councils opposed it too, just
Yeah.
lawyers, I think, so when they never responded to anything.
Can you also, in the paper, keep it, posting that one number where people can reach? Because I've got calls from even the cities asking for different resource information, and I have to give them that number.
All right, big witch Tito, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, concerns?
Going.
Going?
Going.
Kathy, I hope you're well and improving.
Thank you.
I pray for all of you. It's a hard task that you're doing, and I appreciate the input from our
The new
elders
CEO was
council.
gonna come on
Okay.
and introduce.
So Giga
Yeah,
Thank you, Tito.
you're welcome.
what's next?
And if there's an open invitation, I have chairs outside. You can come if you want to talk at any time. My home is open. My yard is open, I should say, and we can practice social distancing. I've met with UMSI many times outside. So please feel free to. In fact, Mr. Fairbanks, you're one of my neighbors now.
What time was, you and Scott gonna come on? Who else, anybody else on the phone?
I just got
said
them on
Scott
the line before.
Oh, for Scott now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You're gonna do the,
are you, Tito, are you done?
yeah, she's done.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, I'm gonna hang up the cell phone.
all right.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can you call Kathy from that one? Kathy, she's gonna call you from that one, cause I got
I don't,
my.
this is not my phone. Is this your phone? It's Maria's phone?
Okay, never mind.
She's coming down. Is the powwow committee out there? You wanna do them while they're here, or?
Yeah,
So they're not all hanging around in the hallway? Did you wanna? See, I didn't print those off, those comments, did you? Or I bet they're in that packet. Oh, Maria, can you call Kathy on that phone, on your phone?
Yeah.
I hung up with Tito.
In your home phone. Kathy, Maria's gonna call you.
yeah, bring them in.
I think I have it.
Let's go get this.
Maria doesn't
Oh,
have.
okay.
There's about 8 people coming in. I asked them to grab
Oh,
a
yeah.
mask and spread out. Okay, Kathy, you want to put your phone?
Good morning, Karen.
Chairwoman.
You got the paper, go ahead. He's hired.
Yeah.
He's hired. I was gonna say.
That's good.
Alrighty, so, the Powell Committee is here to discuss with you, and hear from the Elders Council, Community Council, EOC, and of course RBC recommendations for having a powwow this year and the length of the powwow. Right now, we're looking at the fourth weekend in August. And we've submitted a plan for 3 days max, 1 day minimum. We've gone through the recommendations, the revised recommendations from Dr. Gardner. And most of us have viewed the video that he sent. And from there, you know, we honestly have different opinions about safety, different feelings about whether or not we should have it. And so respectfully, I would say that, you know, it's your decision anyway. We're the ones that work for you. We're the ones that work to put it together. Some of the consensus as of yesterday was to either postpone it or cancel it or be okay with having, you know, a 1 day event. And so we've done some checking, but we don't know for sure what other nations are doing, but there's been a lot of cancellation or virtual powwows, postponement of celebrations, that type of thing. You know, we're anxious to hear from you, and we were listening, so we got to hear what Tito said. And so just to hear from all of you and then your recommendations.
Dana, what were some of the community councils? What were their recommendations? Did you reach out to them?
Sandy St. Clair was going to call in because we were directed to speak with the White Earth Community Council. I don't know if she, Amy Jo, did you get her?
I gave her the phone. Oh. Are you, Sandy, are you on?
I am.
Sandy, did you get a chance to view the video from Dr. Gardner?
That's not her, that was Kathy.
Oh.
Sandy St. Clair, are you on the line?
Okay. Do we have Dr. Gardner or anyone from EOC on?
Nope.
So did you actually speak with her?
Yep, I talked with Sandy on the phone.
And what did she say?
Talked with her, and I gave her the number for Dr. Whitman, and she gave me a call.
Okay. And then did she get back to you with?
No, she didn't get back to me.
Okay. And that's the only community council that we reached out to. Yeah, we need a follow-up like right now.
Well, we know, I've seen most of the community
What
councils are
if she can,
opposed to having a follow-up.
whatever she's doing
Is that the email that, okay.
Yeah, but we gotta realize, guys, this is,
What I've heard from was White Earth, and she made a watch on her either.
Native Watch just had
Fine point, now we're looking Wobbin.
and they just had, Native Watch just had a sobriety meeting the other day out there.
Yeah, but they never even went through the EOC for any recommendations either.
Right. And that's why, you know, that they talked about, we have it in negative.
They're having big concerns about that over their last meeting that they had at the EOC up there at sea.
Okay.
well, my concern is that it's a 152nd powwow, and I think if we can't cancel it, I know, Sisson's having a 4-hour powwow, just so they continue their tradition, their annual powwow, so you know, that's something you know, I was thinking about is if we can have something local and short, you know, and just so we can continue ours for next year at 153rd annual, because we're the second oldest powwow in the country. So, I mean, if we look at canceling it, then we're gonna have to start right back over at year number 1, first annual next year. So, I mean, there's a lot of, I say, you know, we talked in this room many times about, you know, the peak of it, and I know that, you know, the peak's gonna probably go a little past what we expected in June, but the powwow's not until August, so, and the end of August. So I'm just saying that, you know, if we try to coordinate something more safer, and like we said, I know talking to Pat Butler yesterday and talking with, you know, about, you know, other entities involved with the powwow, especially with testing. I think those are some things that we could look at as maybe having something smaller and something more local, and something to just continue our traditions of our, you know, and I think it's important that our people are, you know, we can get out there and dance a little bit and try to heal and, you know, and sing our songs. And I think those are the things I think that we forget, that who we are sometimes in our identity is like, you know, this is a part of us, you know, and, you know, we have to do some type of, you know, like I said, you know, either if it goes 3 days down to 4 hours, I mean, that's fine with me, but I know there's other council members here, but I know the safety and our safety of our elders and our people across our nation is important. And I think that we still, I mean, we could restrict it to whatever the committee would like to do it. But I think that we still need to initiate some type of gathering to continue our 153rd for next year. And I think that we need to sing our songs, and we have to have our jingle dress, our healing dances, and, you know, the men need to dance, and they need to do some of their healing dances too. So I know this is some of the stuff that, you know, myself being traditional, I think that these are the things that I always look to, and, you know, and how we can help our people in a more positive way of using our traditional healing ways. So, we do it.
Can we have Mike share with you, Ben, who you shared with us about the gathering you were just at? With the fences and all that, yeah, with the fences and.
Oh, they didn't have any fences, but, you know, I visited Fortune Bay Casino. And some of their protocol was 1 entry, 1 exit. And they scan you, temperature scan, and masks were required inside the building at all. They enforced that. I actually seen a local PD call because one was not wearing a mask in the building, so they escorted him off. And that was pretty huge. You know, I felt safe in that environment. I'm sure a thermometer check isn't going to catch 100% everyone, but the protocols they set, it seemed to be working.
And if that was inside and considered or outside, there's less chance of the virus, and you also have to have, we don't know how many virus particles you have to have, but in open air, there's the lesser chance of getting enough particles for it to be infected.
Well, I do want to thank you guys for putting a lot of hard work and thought into having a celebration that's so traditional to our nation. And it's part of the fabric of who we are. And it's something that has been going on long before you and I, or any of you, have been sitting in this room. And I'd also add that, you know, I have spoken to some of the elders, and there are concerns. And I know you have heard those same concerns that I have. And I think that no one wants to cancel the powwow. I haven't heard the word cancellation whatsoever. What I have heard is, when is the right time to do it? And I think, you know, we have, what is it? It's almost July now. We have, you know, 6 months, you know, to find whenever that right moment is. And is that right moment in August? Is that right moment next week? Is that right moment in September? Whenever, right? I don't know when that right moment is right now. You guys are certainly proposing, a date in August, at the end of August, probably early September is what I've heard. And that sounds like it's out of the goodness of your heart that you want to do that, to heal our people. It's out of a desire to be with our relatives and our ancestors in a traditional way. And so I see goodness in what you're trying to do. But we haven't heard from the community council, the actual community that it's going to be held in, right? And so for me, I would like to hear what those community leaders want to do and want to say. And I know you guys are pressed for time on trying to get the information out, and there's like logistics behind all that, totally get it. But as a tribal official, I have to weigh the pressure of the logistics of a powwow against the opinion of the community, right? And I have not heard from the community or its leadership. And so for me to say that, okay, we're going to go and move forward with this thing without consulting that community council, it's not wise. It's something that we need to do. We need to consult that community. Now the community might say, let's have it. And they might say that. And it's very likely they could. Does that mean that your logistics get pushed back a few days or a week? I think that's worth discussing with the community. If it just means that it's just a few more days, to do this thing, then that's the way it needs to be. But I would love to hear from the community council and what they have to say. So
I think she's got Sandy.
I'll have speaker Sandy. You're on speaker, Sandy.
All right, thank you. You had questions?
Hi Sandy, this is Dana from the Powwow Committee. We are debating whether or not to hold a celebration in August or postpone to a later date. But the date and location, because it's the White Earth celebration, would be the last weekend in August and at the White Earth Powwow Grounds. And so out of respect for the community where it would be held, we wanted to consult with you. I hope you had an opportunity to see the information from Dr. Gardner for the recommendations. And we've discussed everything from 3-day down to 4 hours, or 1 day, one grand entry, with all safety precautions in place, and having it be local people only. But we need to hear from you and your community to determine whether or not you feel that this would be something viable.
Last week they had a powwow yesterday. And I didn't hear a lot of input from them, but I felt that it would be okay as long as someone was monitoring those bathrooms and those kids weren't allowed to run throughout the whole building. And that, it would be great. I think it's a morale booster.
Okay. And you said you did get opportunity to hear from some of the community members, the council?
Other members on my community council, yes, they're all aware of it, and I didn't get any negative feedback from any of them, so.
Okay. All right.
We just feel to, it would, as long as they use the safety precautions and monitor the ins and outs in the building, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be the
shut down
plan.
the gym area and the other areas, just have a hallway in and out just to that, and not to have to go through the kitchen area.
Okay.
And we do
But
have
yeah,
plan on
it's
having,
fine.
we would plan on having the sanitation crew in there to maintain that too, so they could watch for stopping the kids from running in and out.
Yep.
Hey Sandy, it's Al.
Yeah, they like to charge their phones and everything in there, and
Sandy.
they're kids.
Hey Sandy, it's Alan. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hey, so I'm just listening to some of the words being said here, and just listening to some of the elders, we just had one of the elders council come on and they're asking to postpone. But I don't think they may have heard some of the nuances that were being proposed that the chairman had mentioned. And, he's saying, perhaps this could be a 4-hour thing, kind of more restricted to folks that are from White Earth Nation, some parameters on how this could possibly look like and be done. And I think it's more what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing out in the community, is that, and I'm deferring to you as one of the community leaders, is, this is just what I'm seeing, and I'd like to hear your thoughts, that this would be more of a healing powwow than it would be just kind of like a fun powwow. It'd be more of like a healing, more traditional powwow than a commercial one. That's what I'm hearing, and I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on that. And would you be more comfortable with a 4-hour powwow, kind of like a one-day thing, and we can bring our men and our women in there, and they can do their ceremony? And what are your thoughts on that?
I am going to leave that decision up to the powwow committee because of the fact that they are in their planning stages and they can decide best. I don't want to second guess them or make decisions for them, but I am being supportive, and I would like to see that bring our communities together on the reservation. I mean, we don't need everybody from all the other counties or the whole state, but just our communities. And a lot of people that choose not to participate don't have to participate. I mean, social distancing is going to keep us safe, and mask wearing. So I'm sure a lot of people understand that.
McGuinch.
Good, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Oh, do you have anything to say?
I'm not against canceling a powwow at all, but I think the EOC is saying that this is gonna peak in August, middle of August maybe, or I wish they were on phone here but I guess that changes on a daily basis, I've been a traditional person all my life too. I'm not much of I don't dance at powwow and stuff, but I do other traditional things that's been handed down to me through my whole lifetime. So, I'm not against the powwow. I'm in favor of postponing until maybe September, if that's a possibility, that's still beautiful weather yet, to have a powwow. And, I think that's just my opinion on it.
I like what the chairman had proposed is some of these restrictions. I think that's more palatable. It's more appropriate for what's given the circumstances. Another thing that I would like to see from the committee, this is just my feedback to you guys, is that you regularly consult with the EOC leading up to that powwow date, whatever that date's going to be. That you regularly consult them, so if the conditions on the ground change, you can push that date back. You know what I mean? They don't feel that, oh, this is the date, this is when it's going to be. Just like our casino, like we're constantly monitoring that thing, and if we need to shut it down, we'll shut it down, right? But if we can continue mission, let's continue mission. And that's the only thing that I ask of you guys, is that you regularly consult with these guys to make sure that it's safe, all the way up to the day before the powwow happens, because that's going to be incredibly important.
Yeah, you can set like a tentative date, and
Yeah.
you can
Kind of like
move
a
it.
casino
Yeah,
situation.
you can move if it's fine. So.
Well, if I may then, if we're looking at doing one day or even just one session, what our plans would be to have it be local drums only, local dancers only, very similar to Sisseton, to reassure our elders and our communities that we're doing what we can to keep it healthy for us, time for us to be together and take care of each other, but also with all of those precautions in place. So we would be following the recommendation of EOC and asking for their assistance. I've been communicating with them and sharing with the committee so that we can have that open discussion. And definitely, if something were to happen, if we did have a peak or an outbreak, we would not push for it to happen then. You know, and we understand if it even needed to eventually be canceled. You know, it's we love powwow and we love our people, and we want to keep everybody safe, and we'll do it respectfully and with all the health precautions that can be provided to us. We'll partner with the health division for testing. We're going to ask if perhaps the testing vehicle can be there that day, but also monitor everybody that's in and out. We talked about doing contracts if we did have vendors, only local, singers would be local. I mean, we'll talk about that too, but to ask them to be tested prior to. And we know that can change within minutes after they're tested, but to have that added reassurance and for them to be aware that is something that's important to us, that we mean it. What else do we talk about?
Any vendors have got to follow all the guidelines.
Yeah, everyone has to follow that.
Mask, gloves, hand sanitizer, sanitation, all that stuff. Just like any of the committee would.
And then we would be trained by the EOC, as well as Mike Walker for security, and anyone else that either you felt pertinent or that it comes up that we need to have that training so that we be aware of. And safety precautions we need to have in place.
And for the sanitation, we were discussing getting somebody from the casino that has already had that training. And we have a clean line that way. You know, they know exactly.
No matter when you have it, or we have it.
Or train them additionally.
It'd be nice to have someone there to make sure that people are wearing their masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would have whoever the arena directors are and everybody work to ensure that people keep their masks on, and even have a plan for social distancing for grand entry, you know, and even for handing out tobacco.
Because last night I've seen a lot of our people without masks on, and I thought, oh gosh, you know, we need more security that way.
Well, and we were wondering too, and that I was hoping Veronica Newcomer would be here. One of the questions we had was, can we require people to wear masks? The event that you were at, he said that law enforcement did come in and talk to someone that was refusing to wear a mask.
They can leave, you know.
It is.
What's tribal property?
No?
Public health.
Oh, Ronnie just texted me, yes, you can require them to wear masks.
Well, I mean, just to recap, so I have it clear in my head, so, because I'm gonna get asked questions as soon as you guys are in the room, I'll just tell you that. So what I'm hearing, Mr. Chair, is that folks are comfortable with a single session and all the protections and all that, and it's a fluid date, but it's a tentative date, is that what I'm hearing? Is what I'm hearing? Does that sound accurate?
We have Harvest Fest in September too.
Yeah.
Well, are they still planning on having Harvest Fest?
I haven't heard nothing from that.
But they're probably gonna take lessons learned from you guys, so this would be good. See what I mean? Like, see what you guys saw there?
Right, the last thing they posted is, you know, yay or no nay or yay has been decided.
I like the idea of just a tentative date and just.
A short one and short and sweet and safety.
Yeah, the only concern I have on that too is the royalty crowns, because we're locked in at a set price, and, you know, the beater can't just 2 days later eat them, you know, they need quite a bit of time to do them.
Well, you put it in your budget, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd say she's probably already finished with some of
It's only 2 songs, 3 songs most, you know, you can get it done. Have them dance on each side of the arena, the boys and the girls, and probably 4 to 5 songs.
Why don't we just let royalty just go another year until, I mean, because, you know, that's not enough time, 4 hours.
Well, we can talk about it. I mean, we were wondering about giveaway too, because that's an aspect. And I thought perhaps we could get something that's helpful. I don't know if it would be masks. Masks that say 150 seconds, everybody knows they're there. But I mean, something that, everybody wouldn't be touching, but that they could use and would be in recognition, of the celebration, but also for safety, for the community, if we did something like that.
Well, like right now, hand sanitizer, and then, so it's quarantine the hand sanitizer, put it in gloves, seal them up, quarantine them, and then they can just pick it out of a tote that has been quarantined. So
Could you speak up a little bit more?
Speak up a little more.
I'm sorry, Kathy. For the giveaway, Dana had mentioned having hand sanitizer because it's useful. And I was thinking we could quarantine that, put it in the rubber gloves, plastic gloves, whatever, quarantine all that, and then we have it in totes till it's time to give out. Just like with the tobacco ties, that's what we would have the ADs do. So that's, and that would be quarantined too. So that it's all safe.
We'll just run it past the EOC, what they think.
Yeah, I think
It's
that,
not good being touched by
the
multiple
less
people.
activity you have between,
Then we don't,
You
the
know,
better off you are too.
We can straight out cancel the giveaway too, we don't have to.
right,
So that saves a lot too.
yeah. But,
all right, I don't know, what does council think?
That's fine with me, as long as they go through the EOC there with the recommendations, and like I said,
You have a budget for that one day?
yeah, well, it's gonna be cut down quite a bit. So I had the budget for 3 days, but then taking stuff out if it's only 1 day.
Should we just give them like a preliminary budget amount or what?
Oh, yeah, just, come back next Tuesday. I mean, just go and start your mission and then just come back with a budget and we'll get it approved.
Probably next Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have it ready, and then, after, I sent this information to EOC too for the budget, so that they could go through it and tell us where they can help us, and where it wouldn't be allowed under what they're doing.
We'll try to have it, guys.
Mr. Chair, if I could, please.
Yes.
So, in talking, I'd say I talked about 20 people and it's kind of even, 10 for, 10 against, but the main question that was coming up is Dr. Gardner said to keep it local. We do got a lot of people that live on the Beach Lake Reservation, Red Lake, the cities, and he said like maybe we should keep it local, but what about our whiters and rollies who live on Beach Lake, Red Lake, and down in the cities that want to come up, They're wanting to know, are we going to cut them off too? Because the power belongs to all of our whiters people, and as Dr. Gardner said, we should keep that local. I'm not against not having the powwow. I like the ideas that are coming up here, and I believe we could do it. But it's just that we need to find out if we do, are we going to allow all of our members to be a part of that, by not cutting them off, because it is our own whiter celebration. So that's just a few of the questions that came up, and it came up quite a bit. That why would we want to leave our people out on Leech Lake or up in Fond du Lac or the cities? That's one of the main questions that was coming up there when Dr. Gardner said that we keep it local, So in my eyes, I guess that's putting some of our people out that do live on other reservations and out of the state. So that's something that, that we should also be looking at as to what do we mean by keeping it local? Now, just my thoughts.
Okay, so I have the revised recommendations from Dr. Gardner from the 22nd on Monday. And initially he had said no spectators, only regalia dancers and their immediate families. And those over age 55 are recommended to voluntarily not attend, even if they are immediate family of a regalia dancer. Then he added, as I stated in the meeting, powwow committee should advertise this as a local White Earth citizen powwow. But also, if someone from farther away shows up at the gate, it would be a traditional insult to turn them away. It's important to advertise it as a local powwow and stick to this in-person communication and personal communications as well. And then from the committee that, we would be doing the testing and the checking temperatures as people arrive too. Again, we'll go with.
Well, what I would say then is, I'm thinking about just regular MCT rights, right? So Article 13, like, we can't just deny our members right to tribal property, right? It is what it is, right? If it's public property, they have a right to be there. If they're a White Earth member, they have a right to be there. And if they're coming from out of area, I would feel much more comfortable if you guys had that mandatory testing. If you're coming into the arena, you're going to be tested. This is part of the baggage that comes with doing this. And if you, in terms of traditional, I would say that if you're going to have an honored guest coming from that's not a White Earth member, that it would be by invite only, and that they would be subject to the same testing procedures, and they would be personally approved by the committee itself. For example, we have an elder from such and such area for whatever reason, right? So that it would be subject to your approval.
With a 4 hour to a 1 day powwow, I don't think we're gonna get too many outsiders coming.
And the thing is too, is that those tests take about 10 minutes to get the thing back. That's the one thing that'll take forever too.
Yeah, we'll have a little backup there. And then camping. So the recommendation is not to have camping, to let them know if they do. I mean, like you said, they have a right to be there, but it's at their own risk.
But it's just gonna be a 1 day.
Yeah, they might not.
I don't know. I think companies in the cities, they might want to not just turn around, drive 4 hours up here and then. So it would be at their own risk. That would be under our control. They did.
All right, I'm back next Tuesday.
Okay. Tuesday or Thursday?
Or Thursday, I'm sorry.
Looks great.
Is this, is this language grant? Is that yours? Is that you? What, do you mind stay for a minute? Okay.
Are you guys gonna be in, wanna go in there and visit?
Which council?
I'm good. Is IHS Maria?
Maria?
Are you calling me, Maria Clark?
Yes, we are, Maria. Thank you.
Okay, good. I kept hearing my name too. I was like, uh-oh, I don't know if they're asking for me or not.
Hi, Maria, this is Chairman Fairbanks. We're probably, kind of a little behind in our schedule, but if you can give us a little update from our local service unit. English.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman, and good morning, Chairman and Councilman, and everyone on the phone. Thank you. My name is Maria Clark. I'm the new CEO for the White Earth Service Unit. This is ending my 3rd week, and I came from New Mexico, and I'll be going back a little bit just to visit my family. I left them there, so I'm all alone up here. I will be going back next week for a little bit, but I have absolutely enjoyed my time up here. It's so pretty, and again, I just am so thankful to be up here and working. I don't know if some of you may know that my grandmother and my father and my aunt used to live up here on the reservation a long time ago in the early 1900s. My dad is quite old. If he would have lived, he would have been 105 this year. So, and my mother, she passed away last year, but she's also from Minnesota. So I have family up here.
So I'm going to go on and just update everyone. And I'm going to start off with our COVID activities. That seems to be just inundating our lives right now is the COVID virus. Since I started, I have taken over as the incident commander, and Larry Potnod was very good, and he showed me everything that he does. So I do the daily reports to IHS headquarters, not headquarters, IHS area, Bemidji area. And I also attend the weekly tribal EOC meetings. That Monday was my first day, my first time doing that, and I introduced myself. And then I've been on the calls with the IHS tribal EOC. Those are on Thursdays, and those are all very good meetings. And I would say we collaborate on a daily basis, not necessarily with me personally, but my staff as well, the staff here. We collaborate daily with the tribal health program, and we really appreciate the tribal resources that are out there. Pat Butler is wonderful, and Ed Setzinger, I'm pronouncing his last name right, is wonderful, and Sarah Setzinger, everyone has just been so helpful and so full of information and good information that helps me make good decisions as well. So the more information I have, the better decisions I can make. We are sharing information on the tribal Facebook and as well as the White Health Center Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, and I'm sure most of us are, we don't do it every day, but we update it as best as we can as far as the virus and where it's at. I did want to note that we do monitor all the counties around us, like Becker County, Clay, Hubbard, Petrami, Clearwater, Mahnomen, Norman, Ottertail, Polk, and Wadena. And every day we get those statistics off of the Minnesota website, and we're not seeing huge numbers, and as far as positive. We might have a few here and there, but they're not huge double-digit percentages or even double-digit numbers. For instance, I wanted to give a little picture with Indian Health Service overall and where the Bemidji area is overall. So as of yesterday, the Bemidji area showed 333 positives. So this is all of Bemidji. It includes Wisconsin, Michigan, and Minnesota. Navajo area office, which we all know the Navajo community there is really having a hard time with this virus. It has really impacted them quite negatively. Their positive so far is 7,955. And so I just want to show some perspective as far as how well we're doing here in the Bemidji area in terms of keeping the virus out of our community as best as we can. We're not going to stop it entirely, but we can do our best, like wearing our masks wherever we go. And I share the concern with the elders, when they see other people not wearing their masks. And if we could encourage other folks, not demand it, encourage mask wearing, that goes over well. And it's to protect not only them, but their family as well. So that's my spiel on mask wearing. We wear them every day here at the clinic. And for those of you who have been here to the clinic, you see all our staff wearing masks. And our clinic staff who do direct patient care, they wear even more than just the mask. They're gowned up, gloved up. They have the shield, the mask shield or goggles. And so they practice a lot of safe practices is what they're doing, and we are proud of that. We do test. We continue to test every day. We average about 400 tests per month, and of course we follow CDC guidelines for testing. For testing, we, for any dental patient that comes in, they're not only just screened, we test all dental patients because of the procedures that are involved. And so all dental patients have to be tested. Other patients who may come in, they're screened and then they're given a mask. So we take precautions as soon as you come into the door. We have an adequate amount of supplies like PPEs and cleaning solutions, and we continue to receive more each week. The field clinics remain closed until August 31st or until further notice. Someone mentioned that this whole situation is fluid. It is fluid. It changes literally day by day. And so the more information we have, the facts that we have and the data that we have and that we share, the better decisions we can make. So again, I appreciate the tribal resources as well. We are extremely grateful for the Tribal Behavioral Health Program for allowing us to temporarily move into their space. We've had to do this because the field clinics are closed and thus more staff have come over here. So behavioral health is, and this is temporary. I'm not taking over or kicking anybody out. I just want to say that we really appreciate the Tribal Behavioral Health Program for allowing us to move in. So we're going to make that, we're going to give ourselves a week to do that, next week to move in, and then we'll probably just have respiratory over there in behavioral health starting July 6th. We've had to make adjustments because of COVID, and those adjustments include the curbside medication pickup. That's really popular. I would say about 86% of our refills are picked up through curbside. Once in a while, a patient who's run out of minutes on their cell phone or forgot their phone or doesn't have a phone, they'll have to run in, but we screen them, we screen them before they even enter the door. But patients who have phones are able to call a number saying, I'm out here, and then we run out the medications to them. We used to have staff out there, but it's getting busy. So we're having to pull our pharmacy staff back into the clinic. So we've had to make a few adjustments in our curbside, and I hope that's still okay. And it's, like I said, it's really popular. With the expansion, we're going to have a drive-up pharmacy window. So I think we're kind of grooming all of ourselves here, including patients, to drive up services. It's really popular. Staying with the adjustments we've had to make includes the telehealth services. That's becoming more and more popular with patients, and I'm hoping that we can continue that even after we get out of our COVID operations, we move on to normal operations. I don't know when that's going to be, but we hope that we'll be able to continue the telehealth services. Telehealth is popular, one, because you don't have to drive anywhere right now. You don't have to get in your car. You don't have to waste any gas, and it's immediate, and you still have a lot of time with the physician, and everything's taken care of over the phone or on the telehealth or on the video conference. It does help patients also to remain in their homes and safe in their homes. So again, driving around is limited. All patients and employees and visitors, I said, are screened at the front door. And then just on a positive note, our environmental services or our housekeeping, Dan McDougall, our employee here, received an award for Custodian of the Year for the entire Bemidji area. Then on top of that, all our EVS staff received CHEST certification, and CHEST certification stands for Certified Healthcare Environmental Service Technician. And that equips our staff with more knowledge and skills on cleaning healthcare facilities. So all of our EVS staff are now CHEST certified. Let's see, we have received some COVID funding, which we're working on as far as the budget is concerned. Our revenues continue to remain steady. I haven't studied it very well right now, but it looks good right now without me providing my own analysis and seeing if there's anything that we need to gear up. But we are getting paid for the telehealth services and the virtual phone calls as well, which the Minnesota state has allowed. Now, we hope this continues as well beyond COVID, because I think that's just going into the 21st or even the 22nd century of automation and technology. And so far, that's my report. I appreciate it, but I'm here for questions.
Yeah, Miigwech, Maria. You know, it's what some of the stuff that I was on the phone calls here the last week is advocating for the state meeting with DHS and about these waivers to continue them at that state level, and also asking for consultation with Ms. Kitty Marks from CMS to give us some direction on not only the waivers, but also the four-wall stuff too. So we're looking at a lot of different stuff. So, but yeah, I want to say Miigwech.
Excellent, yeah.
And welcome.
Yeah, I know Kitty very well.
Yeah. Thank you.
One thing I did forget to mention is our expansion, that big monstrous, construction site that we're working with. Sometimes COVID takes over our lives a little bit too much, but our expansion is going very well. A few hiccups here and there, but that's construction. That's the nature of the beast. So we're excited that it's going very well, and we'll have our walkthrough today at 1 o'clock just to see. And I believe our footings are not complete, but definitely almost complete. So definite progress we can see.
Does any other council have any questions for Maria? All right. Oh, Kathy has a question for you, Maria.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We hope it's going to be done by November of 2021. So a little over a year, which is even more exciting because a year goes by fast. Thank you.
Yeah, Miigwech. Miigwech, Maria. Thank you for your report.
Is that thank you? You're welcome. You'll have to teach me.
We got Dana here again for the Maya language grant. You can come up, we'll get that done too, since you're sitting here waiting, so.
So I believe you have the grant documents. You want to come from legal? So there's a resolution and everything there. The actual plan depends on a few things, so I thought I would tell you about it and get your input and approval, please. Okay, so Minnesota Indian Affairs Council through the state of Minnesota has this grant opportunity available for us for, well, it's for Dakota and language revitalization. And so White Earth, it's non-competitive, there's money that's been set aside for us. And I began looking into ways to do this in January. And then, so I had actually spoken with a language app company, and they're based in Canada, and they're closed right now. And of course the border is closed. But there's an array of applications, and Voice for It has one, where they would come in and record. They would work with us on what word lists we want to do, and then develop the application, and we would own the source code, White Earth Reservation would, and so we could utilize that within our schools, or put it out there for anybody to use. So that's one opportunity. But there's a range in price from between $9,000 to $120,000. And like I said, this grant is only for $51,000. So this is something to consider. But the end goal that we have for language right now, and speaking with Chairman Fairbanks, is an immersion school. And so in order to have an immersion school here, we need to build teachers. So we need to build teachers that are able to teach everything in our language. We have an eminence committee, and they're supportive as well as the White Earth Tribal Community College, and then the people that are eminenced in the area are all behind us in working towards taking those that already have eminence that are here and building language skills for them. And so it would include, right now it would be virtual meetings, but it would actually include teaching our teachers, building on their own language skills.
$51,000 isn't gonna go far.
No, it isn't. And so what we're doing is working with the tribal college because they already have one of these grants. And she has set up an immersion camp, which now is on hold. But also the teachers that she had, they were meeting once or twice a month. Right now we do Zoom every Sunday for free, but it's just because we love the language so much. And these individuals are teachers from other areas, but they are, in my meager opinion, they're amazing people. They love the language and study the nuances, and they bring in elders. So we have first language speakers that they refer to and are even working on language materials themselves. So we would draw upon what is set up with White Earth Tribal and Community College and add our area teachers to it. So I've included a list of teachers from our public schools, our charter school, our tribally controlled school, to have them have these opportunities as well. And yes, it won't go far. I also would like to provide some basic, and this is what this language group discussed the other day, is what materials are essential to begin that language journey or to support the language journey. We know that for our people with eminence, if you've had 1 or 2 classes, there isn't really anything else offered locally. So this would be something that we could offer for them.
When I sat on MIAC, I voted against dividing this grant money equally amongst the tribes, 11 tribes, you know, especially with White Earth and Lake being the 2 largest tribes in Minnesota. I felt we should have gotten more money for this language than this thing than 300 and 400 member tribes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen.
Well, I'm not sure what they'll be
discussing
today.
Yeah, just letting you know that.
Yeah, well, and there is supposed to be another year of it, but because we're starting so late, I'm waiting to hear back from Tony Stillday, whether or not we would be able to access that. And it would be about the same amount of money for another year.
And with that grant, could you use that money to look into building an immersion program?
I believe it's for language revitalization. Well,
for language revitalization.
Yeah.
Revitalization, what is that?
Yeah, it's for language revitalization specifically, but I could definitely find out.
I don't know, I'm supposed to be in the magazine.
I know. I was gonna go do that too. So, the resolution is more that we're pursuing this and that, doing so with your approval with this type of plan, or if you have, you know, a different suggestion, I'm definitely open to that.
We'll do that up to you.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that up to you.
Motion to approve the grant or to apply for the grant?
Second.
Motion by Allen, second by Umsey, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Dana. Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll take a little break, guys.
You wanna do, Scott, you wanna do the casino and Scott after break, or?
I don't think Holly's gonna be here.
Dennis got sick, didn't he?
Dennis was sick, yeah.